You're listening to The Angry Designer, where we cut through the industry bull to help frustrated graphic designers survive and thrive.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing pretty well. How you doing, Moss?
Not too bad. Not
Excellent.
too bad.
Excellent.
Thank you. Yep.
Good to see you're back on the sauce.
Yeah, back on the sauce.
Yes.
Yep, off of those antibiotics.
Salute.
They're
Let's have
so
a-
bad for you, antibiotics.
They are. They rob you of alcohol. This is nice.
All right,
What do
this
we
is
got
different. Today we're trying something totally I've never even heard of. It's called Tin Cup. Check this bad boy out.
Tin cup.
Mountain whiskey. Look at that. Look at that. Tin Cup.
Tin cup.
It has a
Mountain
little
whiskey.
tin cup on the top.
Yeah, look at that for
Look at
your
that.
shots. So you can.
It's got bottled at, look, elevated 5,251 feet.
Nice.
Right? It's kind of cool. I don't understand this concept of the tin cup. Oh, well, you said it's what? It's so it.
It's
you
your
know
shot.
exactly. It's my shot.
Yeah.
Either way, shit. You know what? I just want to have a drink.
Let's drink it. Cheers.
To 5,000 feet. Ooh, I like whiskey that's done at 5,000 feet. Wow, that is really nice
Yes.
whiskey.
That's pretty good.
Wow, it's smooth. It's got
Yep.
just a tad bit of burn to remind you that it is whiskey, but it's not like it's not painful in any which way, shape, or form.
It's pretty sweet, right?
It is.
Or is it just me?
I wouldn't say it's too sweet. I think
Okay.
we've had a lot sweeter than this.
Yeah,
but
you're right. That's
It's definitely not. It's not flavorless. That's for
Nope,
sure. This is
It's
nice.
pretty good. All right. The streak continues.
I like the tin cup, and this was the last of what I bought up north when
it
I
is.
found. Right?
Okay. So are you
Yep, yep.
are you going back for any soccer?
No, I'm not
tournaments?
going back
Oh.
up north for any soccer tournaments this year. So
Damn it.
I know
Okay,
it was
well.
pretty good. After my second glass, though, I am getting a little burning sensation. I'm getting a little bit of the burn. Little bit of the burn.
That could have been our lunch.
That was also very good.
There was some heat on that bastard. Woo. So yeah, that whiskey and spicy Thai
Spicy
or whatever.
Thai peanut
it's
something
peanut
or
sauce,
another.
Yeah.
Shit, we did good today, didn't we?
We deserve it.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'm feeling silly tonight. I don't know why. And yet our topic is not silly.
It's very serious. I was going to say,
I've
what the
had
hell?
one of those days. I mean, between my poor dog tearing his ACL.
Oh, a dog with a torn ACL.
And now I all I have is this vision of him in doggy rehab, like you said, with the theme song of "Eyeing the Tiger" in the background. So I gotta get that little video in place.
You
Give him a little headband. Give him some sweatbands on his feet. Shit. So funny, eh?
then
Poor
have
little
him
guy.
on his side, you know, panting heavily.
Panting, right? We're all pushing him, throwing water in his face. Fuck. Yeah, I can't believe it. And it's so needless to say that's how my day started.
Yeah, well, that's a crazy day, and all you can hear is cha-ching with the
Oh
money
my God,
going out with that,
dude.
because a torn ACL on a human is expensive,
Let alone on
Let
a
alone
damn
on a dog. Oh my
It's not like they
God.
have the same orthopedic surgeon who does humans and does the dogs. Orthopedic. That's it, right?
Yeah. I think
okay,
you're right.
so-
Orthopedic. It's funny though that people would go to school to learn how to fix a dog's knee.
A dog's knee. Humans? No. Dogs.
Yeah, I don't like humans. I'll work on dogs. Damn it.
Well, that's one industry that I don't think AI is going to take over.
This is
surgeon.
true.
I think if you want to protect yourself against AI,
Yep.
become a surgeon.
Yes.
It's that easy,
That's
guys.
good.
It's that
Or-
easy.
or-
The world exists. Analog still exists.
Yes.
But AI is not going anywhere. And that's what we're here to talk about
That's
today.
right.
Right? Because again, it's a hot topic. It was almost a year ago. It was episode 80. We did our first AI episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then we also did another one, Will Robots Replace Graphic Designers? So this
Oh.
has been a hot topic for the past couple of years.
Yes.
Because we've all seen it coming, right? And again, I've been a huge enthusiast from this right from the start. I've jumped on it. I don't know if it's just a personality defect I have that I want to see what's new and what's hot and
Good for you.
And again, I
I'm
went
scared of
through
it.
this. I went through this back when we started, right? We went from print to digital and the whole world was avoiding it. And I was like, no, fuck, just jump
doing
right
it.
in
Yeah,
there, right?
yeah.
Then it was like, our whole business model is going to change because we have people from offshore coming to take our jobs. I'm like, nope, jump right in. Let's figure out how to use it. And
Right.
and now this AI thing is a whole, I mean, to me, it's exciting as fucking hell.
It's very exciting. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But in my in my limited, and I try to be better at prompts, which I'm just not. I guess I'm not that creative. I don't know, because anything I put into it, it just looks like ass.
Well, that's because you always start with, ass. Yeah. Hot bum.
Wonder Bra commercials.
Why were we talking about Wonder Bra commercials earlier?
I don't know how that got in your head.
I have this old Wonder Bra song from like the 1970s stuck in my head.
Are you sure it's the 70s?
It had to have been, because I remember myself as like pre-kindergarten giggling because you'd see girls on TV with bras, and as a little kid and TV, and you're just like giggling, going, and that song is in my. It wasn't even the song; it was like they had this little and it just that just anyway. Okay,
that's so funny. If you guys can help Moss out,
if anybody knows the song I'm talking about, the Wonder Bra song I'm talking about. But all right, back to AI.
Back to AI. Yeah. Enough about bras. Bras will not be replaced either.
Yeah, right. Not by AI anyway. So, I have been following this, and of course, for a little while I was concerned, and then I reviewed last year's episode, right? 1 year ago, to see like how far it's come, and boy, has it fucking AI has come so far.
Right.
But everything that we talked about in that episode absolutely still, agrees and it works as of right now. I don't think my opinion has changed. If anything, it has become more of a whole advocate for this, because I know it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Yes.
And so I think, foolish are the people who are in denial or trying to fight it.
Yes.
Right? Just like the people who tried to fight digital was coming and stuck to print, they were gone. Just like people who couldn't embrace the fact that, there could be people from other sides of the world, that they're going to be competing with now, not just people in their cities.
Yeah.
From a business perspective, okay, you need to fucking learn it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Right? Like you need to embrace it.
Yeah.
If you have a business in any way, you're crazy not to try to jump on this, not to familiarize yourself with this. The efficiency gains are ridiculous.
Yes.
This is all over the place, right? Like businesses are, saving like 40%, 50% in efficiency. Their OpEx is going, like they're saving like 30% on their operating expenses just on like tasks that are just kind of, over and over and over again. And yet there's companies after companies that are banning it, which just blows me away.
Wow.
They're like, no AI in this company, no chat GPT, no image. And I get it in the sense of, I think that they're all scared from a privacy perspective.
Yeah, I guess if you've got some particular IP that if somebody wrongly types it into that, it could go,
Well, and the idea, I guess, is that,
yeah.
whatever you type into these platforms goes back to the platform to help grow the platform.
Oh, right.
But I mean, privacy is one of those unwinnable goals, right? You can't have it. I mean, you think it gives you an edge, but it's only a matter of time before A, something's leaked, B, somebody reverse engineers your product, C, reverse engineers your process, right? It's just, it's nice in theory, privacy, but I mean, really, it's almost unattainable.
Yeah.
Definitely in the long term.
Yep.
Where right now the short term gains from some of these companies are just like they're phenomenal, because what it's doing is it's freeing up employees, from doing a lot of the repetitive, tasks that just take time and they're not necessary, and it's freeing them up from that and giving them more strategic, more creative tasks, more bigger problem solving tasks, right?
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing.
Totally.
At this level, and this isn't even from a design perspective. This is from a business
just
perspective.
Like a regular. My wife, her where she works, there's a high turnover there.
Yep.
So she just feeds it into whatever it is. Boop, out pops a resume or a job description for the next position coming up, without having to sit there and piece together a whole bunch of shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, you feed it in there and away it goes, kind of thing.
Does.
So
it's
very
right?
helpful in that regard.
It is.
You shave hours of time.
Hours. And again, her time is better spent running that
doing
fucking incubator, right?
Exactly.
Not just, proofreading and doing all the, like,
yes.
Again,
doing menial jobs like that.
I have it proofreading. I have it, it helps articulate my thoughts, because sometimes we all know I speak in riddles. So it's like, sometimes I'm like, help me clear up my thought. I'm thinking this. Are you thinking this? No. And it's like, I'm almost having these conversations with it.
Yeah.
I'm using it to solve, problems. I gotta get around this, or how do I solve that? Or I'm stuck. What should I do? Right. And it's just like another perspective without me bothering everybody else.
Right.
That either can or can't help, which is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I hate to say this, but idea generation. Like this thing is like a great brainstorming tool. You know what I mean? You put ideas out there, it sifts out ideas. You're kind of like, listen, I'm thinking about, a new skateboard with this kind of design on it, and it's named this. What do you think? And it's like, well, yes, no, maybe so. Have you thought about this? It's just kind of, it's keeping your mind. It's almost like you have this partner at all times that's constantly feeding you back. And so it's just as a brainstorming or idea generation tool, it's fantastic.
Yes, great.
Grammar. I mean, grammar is okay. We all know grammar is something that I don't really focus. I should be focusing more on.
We do all right, but even the best of us, slip up. You're gonna get tired.
So in situations like that, like you said, right?
Back.
Like I put together a job description recently, and I was just like, okay, well, these are the points I want to cover, but I'm not really hitting it, And it was chat. I was like, chat, what about this? Can you do this? Boom. Yeah. First time. I was like, oh God, that was so much better than what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, not to make me feel dumb, but it was a really good partner in that sense. And then email management. Okay. I've got AI in my emails, like helping me sort through my emails, helping me retime emails, bringing the important ones up to the surface. Right. Okay. So again, it's helping me stay organized. Wow. And not to mention that for years now, we've already had our AI, meetings recap tool, right? We got my note taker app. Everywhere I go, everybody knows that note taker is there automatically.
Fred, what is it?
Fred at Fireflies. And
right,
he's, recording the meeting, he's taking notes, giving me actionable items. And again, how many times that piece of AI has saved my ass. So, I mean, from a business perspective, people are crazy not to jump on something like this. Yeah. But we're here to talk about from a graphic design perspective. Okay.
Right.
And in my opinion, from a graphic design perspective, you absolutely need to embrace.
Yeah.
You have to embrace AI because this is something, it's not going anywhere, number one. Number two, it's not coming for our jobs.
No.
But what it is doing is it's supercharging our abilities, right? And this is the thing that it's just like, guys, you can't let this go, right? This is going to be something that people absolutely need to embrace. That whole saying, and I think we even said this in the last podcast, AI itself isn't coming for our jobs.
No.
But another designer who knows how to use AI will be coming for our jobs. And you know what? Why wouldn't you get them?
Yeah, totally.
Right? This is the scary thing, right? Yeah. If you've got people that are underperforming or people that are only capable of doing one thing because their job description only says that they should only do this, and someone else coming in and be like, you know what? I can do their job plus their job plus their job.
Exactly.
It's like, well, that's kind of appealing, right? Like you are that much more of a valuable asset to a company.
Yep. And in half the time of those other people.
Exactly, right? Because again, it makes designers supercharged, right? And I mean, we shouldn't fool ourselves because it is already been baked into a lot of the software that we actually use.
Yeah, this is true. It's there for sure. Yeah.
Like you've seen the enhancements of Photoshop lately, right? Like with the whole generative fill, right? Well, what do you think that is?
Yeah.
That's fucking AI, right? Like it's like, no, take this out or extend this picture, right? Like that's AI that Adobe kind of snuck in and didn't scream that it was AI. Fixes images like you can add elements to images that didn't exist before. In Photoshop, that would take you hours to do.
Just the clipping paths alone.
Right? Let alone then all the different techniques that you have to do to, kind of, make sure that it's clipped, people's hair's through, things are transparent, right? No. Gone. This thing does it automatically for you, right? So again, they've got that. That's a huge add-on. It's not replacing our job.
Nope.
But maybe if your job was a Photoshop designer and that's all you could do,
then
maybe,
yes,
right?
Exactly.
And this kind of goes back to that whole idea about maybe digital artists would have to worry a little bit more, but graphic designers not so much.
But the funny thing is in the platforms that we use for our stock photography, seeing a lot more of digital art in there.
Absolutely.
And it looks awesome. Like
amazing.
You wouldn't know.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
time,
like
right?
it's like really, really good.
And what's crazy now is you're looking at that image and you hover over it and it's like, hey, do you want to remove the background?
Yes.
All of a sudden,
yes.
it's
So
like,
it gives you that option right off the bat.
Like even so, you already downloaded as a transparent PNG with the background removed and like
just
again,
perfect. Yeah.
wow, right? So again, if your job was a clipping path artist, gone,
You're
right?
done.
If you're a production artist, you got to be worried.
Yeah.
And this is exactly what we talked about last year. If your job is something that is repeated over and over and over, and technology can do it better, faster, cheaper, well, guess what?
Yeah.
You're gone.
Yeah, you're going to be done. Yeah.
But we need to embrace this whole look, right? This whole future, because this is huge. This is the new industrial revolution. Ooh. And you hear this everywhere.
Wow.
I know
That's
it's pretty
heavy.
bold.
Ooh.
I know it's heavy. It's absolutely heavy. But the thing is, this has several impacts across a whole bunch of different industries, across society as a whole, right? It's a disruptive technology.
Yep.
First and foremost. I can't remember, aside from when the internet finally hit mainstream, anything else more disruptive than this, okay, on a whole. Yeah, social was disruptive, from a social perspective. And, the internet was disruptive from a research perspective, taking things online and okay, fine, the computer for print. These were pretty disruptive. You can't argue that. But this AI is a game changer across virtually every industry,
yes,
okay?
Exactly.
So again, new industrial revolution, right? It's disruptive. Which we know, right? The automation and the efficiency gains, again, are going to be across all boards, okay? And again, whether you're, analyzing all this image, from like millions of x-rays, x-rays of people trying to pinpoint new cancer cells, right? Again, it'll streamline all that. Like you said, tasks that your wife might do, over at the incubator, right? Things that are just like, why are you doing data entry? You're served much more. Now you don't have to do right? Stuff. So again, it's going to disrupt that. The economic impact, okay, across industries. We already know how many jobs are being pulled back and they're being combined using AI technologies, right? Like this is happening right now, like with IBM pulling back, 7,000 jobs because they know that those 7,000 jobs, that sucks. And people might think, oh, I lost that job. And it's like, well, not really. This is the whole industrial revolution. This now sets up for new types of jobs, right? So the impact economically, things are going to be able to be done faster, cheaper, better. Okay. And again, that's kind of a really sad, trend that you see in situations. And that's what the Industrial Revolution was about. That's what this is about, right? Job transformations happen in the Industrial Revolution. Everybody thought, oh shit, automation lines are going to, replace people. Well, they're not. No. It's just people now have different roles.
Yes.
So now people, they're going to have different types of roles. You're not going to have data entry clerks, but you will have more people, that'll have to think a little bit more. That'll have to, think on a broader scale. Like it's going to almost elevate everybody to a new level, right?
It's going to take your creative game to a new level for sure.
Absolutely.
This is the kind of stuff where you're just like, ooh, I gotta, it's tricky to come up with the right prompts and things like that.
Absolutely, right? And it's going to, and there's no question, just like the Industrial Revolution, it's going to accelerate innovation. People, and you're already seeing it. Okay. You're already seeing people are, like taking these apps and creating new apps from them, creating new, tailored, very niche apps. But again, this is what's spurring all this, really, creative, disruptive technology, right? Totally. All these new apps that are totally, again, this is as big, if not bigger than the whole Industrial Revolution.
And it's funny too, because there was a lot of people that were panicking back then. About jobs. And I think it created more jobs. Well, except for the wagon wheel makers. Those guys were fucked. But you know what I mean? Like 100%. It's like because you're cranking out more, there's going to be more opportunities for people to do these kind of jobs.
Absolutely, there are going to be, right? Again, it's not that it's going to take away your job. No. It's just going to enhance the people who want to use it, enhance their jobs, and it's going to create a whole bunch of new ones. And I think that's the mentality that people need to kind of wrap their head around, right? Like think about it. A freelance designer now will be able to do the work of a small agency, and they're one person shop, right? A freelance designer now could possibly take take on a client, right? They could, you know, in the course of an afternoon, they could probably brainstorm 3 to 5 different concepts, right? Get them made using some of these apps, unfortunately, right? Send them off to their customers for approval. Once they're back, they can get them resized to all the different sizes for the social platforms, right? And then they could even like execute them all with writing and everything. They could do this in the course of an afternoon.
Exactly.
And I'm not even exaggerating. Like, you know, as a designer, you'd be crazy, you know, if you're looking to make a decent living as a designer, you know, as a freelancer, that you can service customers so incredibly well if you're willing to embrace this technology.
Right. Now, do you think, and I hope I'm not skipping ahead here, but do you think there's going to be a premium on people that are actually really, really good at these sort of things?
Oh, 100% there was. Well, because again, now it's like, you know, one person who can deliver an end-to-end service is going to eliminate all this.
All kinds of stuff.
More valuable. Like I said, if I had 2 applicants coming in here, one had AI experience, one didn't. Who would I hire?
Exactly.
Right? Absolutely. And I would pay them a little more because I know that now with their AI experience, they could outperform another designer.
Because you're getting a copywriter, you're getting a photographer, right? With this AI kind of thing, right?
And the funny thing is, what you're getting with AI is, okay, granted, you know, I probably couldn't. You couldn't replace all copywriters. No. But you can replace, let's say, you know, you can replace what you rely on a copywriter for a third the time.
Right.
Maybe a half the time.
Right.
Right. There's obviously a lot of other values copywriters bring, right? With the research, with the, you know, the storyboard, and that's what AI can never replace.
Exactly.
Okay? And those are the copywriters that will always have a job.
Yes.
The ones who can research, who can formulate ideas, who can build stories, build journeys.
But they're going to be the exact same boat. If you're a good copywriter, you're going to be able to utilize this this tech.
So they should be in the same boat.
In theory,
right?
this is right. It's just, it's only going to make you better.
So,
and in theory, make you crank out more work.
Exactly. So again, in my, and going back to that idea that, you know, AI will, at the very least, initially get rid of the low hanging fruit. Right? Stuff like, you know, like social copy. You know, I love our copywriters. They're awesome. You know, is social copy, you know, is it beneath them? I wouldn't say it's beneath them, but they do it. But it's probably a pain in the ass to do because they want more meatier stuff. They don't want to just, you know, come up with a copy. Hey, are you tired of looking pale as a ghost? Come to our suntan center. Like, ooh, exciting. AI could do that a hell of a lot better, cheaper, and they'll probably be happy to let that go.
Yeah, they'd be great with that.
Boy, that fly really likes you, eh? Oh, jeez. We got a killer fly here.
Flies to shit.
Jeff, get out of here. Jeff Goldblum. Remember that?
Jeff Goldblum. I'm getting stronger. Oh, did you catch him? Oh, shit.
If you see this on YouTube right now, you see me trying to catch
the fly hunters. Okay, now you scared him anyway. That's good.
Okay, he's leaving us alone. But I mean, it's true, right? And this is where if you hire somebody who has enough experience to be able to touch all those points, that one person is of more asset to a company than just somebody who's coming in and just saying, no, I can do one job. This kind of goes back to that whole idea that we said that make yourself indispensable, right? Like, you know, some designers are, you know, babies and they're like, well, I wasn't hired to be a copywriter. I wasn't hired to be a production artist. I don't do PowerPoints. But I mean, the reality is it's like fine, but you're just limiting yourself.
Exactly.
Your own job, you know, you're making yourself more expendable. Right. Where if somebody can come in and it's like, hey, I am familiar with this. I can also help tweak this. I can come up with better ideas. And again, it's a learning process. Just like everything is. But graphic design is exactly. We're in the cusp of something fucking huge.
Exactly.
Don't you want to be on this wave?
Get in on it right now.
Right? Like, I mean, again, shit, if anything, I feel like this just kind of reinvigorates this whole experience for another 20, 25 years, right?
Totally.
I've seen what the past 25 was, how it went from print to digital to this crazy social world that we have. Now we're going from this to like AI and what that's going to be fucking incredible,
dude. It's pretty neat. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, you know, if you put these into your workflows, right? Again, it can help you generate new ideas on a regular basis. And some people might think it's cheating, but again, what it is it's like somebody else. It's like another sounding board that is helping you throw shit out there, right? What sticks, what doesn't. It's almost the equivalent of like if you had like 5 arms and you're able to draw like 50 logos on a table, and of those 50, be like, there's potential here, there's potential here, and there's potential here. That's how I use a lot of this, right? A lot of times I'm like, give me a shit ton of ideas. And let me sift through it. I don't think I've ever taken a single idea and was like, boom, that's the one, I'm using it as is.
No.
But
Yeah.
it gives some interesting nuggets, just like when you're sourcing through the web for inspiration, when you're flipping through Pinterest or Behance or Dribbble or even Google Images, and it's just like, oh, I could make something like that work for this job. Right. And you take that little nugget and you just elaborate and grow it, add your style to it. Boom, it's done. So again, designers, it can generate new ideas, right? And this is by new ideas, I'm not meaning just, image generators, but even like the copy ideas, headline ideas, even like concepts for ads, right? Like you want to brainstorm. It can, the sounding board thing is like, I think, huge. And I think a lot of times when designers are working at home, they don't have that sounding board. Right? Yeah. Where oddly, whether it's Midjourney for visual or whether it's ChatGPT for, feedback and stuff, these platforms can provide so much amazing back and forth feedback that you'd be surprised what they're capable of doing and how that sparks your creativity. Right. This is where it's like people need to, embrace the idea that it is a viable source of inspiration. Right. And again, it really does help you flush out ideas, good ideas. Right. And again, I'm guilty of using them for all these. I keep testing it and I keep testing it and I keep growing it. And I mean, my output now is like 2x, 3x, 4x for some of the stuff that used to take me days to do. I can now crank out in like a morning because it literally puts me on like a cocaine high. Where it's like a speed thrill. It's like I'm on ecstasy or something. And it's like I'm moving at such a faster pace.
Nice.
Right? It is. And it's fucking invigorating. Jeez. Like it is. It's really cool.
That's so very cool.
So I think the designers that are, holding back from creating images or creating material using this, I think they're suffering themselves. That's all. They're hurting themselves in a situation like this.
Totally.
Yeah.
So has there been any sort of copyright infringement with any of this stuff? Like I can imagine people going in and seeing something and recreating it on their own without, with their own kind of.
No, it's totally true. So, okay, so this is kind of like twofold, right? Like I've got personal opinions on this, right? Like there is a class action lawsuit out right now.
Well, there is.
Yeah, here,
I'll
take a little bit. There is a class action lawsuit out there right now for I think it's against OpenAI, right? Or it could be Stable Diffusion, but I guess a whole bunch of artists have come together because, I mean, again, this is generative AI, right? And the way generative AI works is it uses images of other artists, other things. It compiles all this information together. And then when you're like, create me a picture of a sunset, kind of like Van Gogh.
Yes.
Van Gogh's Starry Eye.
Right.
It's like, okay, it recognizes that. It creates it based on that.
Yes.
Right? Based on that look, that feel, that style, right? So, I mean, this is how, in theory, generative AI works.
Right.
Okay. And I mean, again, chances are they created something and they scraped the entire fucking web for everything, right? They probably scraped, photo disc sites and stock photography sites, Google Images. They probably sourced everywhere, right? And they probably did it at such a fast rate without asking for permission, that it just they just blanketed, right?
Right.
But the thing is, okay, so that's how generative AI works. Okay. And so now they're being sued because all these people are like, oh, well, you're using our material to create original artwork. How is it original?
Right.
And I feel for them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
At the same time, if I'm looking for inspiration, sometimes I'll visit Dribbble. Sometimes I'll use Pinterest. I'll be like, I need something. Sometimes I'll look my logo modernism book, right?
Yep.
I'm finding inspiration in other people's works.
Yes.
Okay. This has happened for centuries. I think Picasso made that whole good designers copy, great designers steal about how, like you use that and kind of develop from that, create your own from
style.
that, right? Yeah. So, I mean, this is something that's been happening forever. So how the fuck is this any different?
Yeah.
Right? As designers, we're constantly, consciously, and even subconsciously, pulling inspiration all the time from places we see and some places that we don't even realize, right? So when we actually create something original, it's not fucking original at all. There is no such thing anymore of, original in all fairness, right?
Yeah.
So how is this AI any different? Okay. Granted, this is just my opinion on it.
Yes.
Okay. And if people disagree with me, That's fine. Let's say somebody's like, no, Moss, you're fucking wrong. And this is why. And you can say that because this is my fucking opinion, right? But even if you completely disagree and you're like, no, you're fucking wrong. They should sue those bastards and go to court. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
They'll sue them. It'll create a little bit of a speed bump. It's not going to fucking, it's not going to disappear. They're not going to eliminate this, right? It's not going to, you know, if anything, this lawsuit is only bringing more attention to the whole concept, right?
The, what do they call that? It's the Barbra Streisand effect.
What is that?
She had a house on this hill or on the cliffs in Hollywood. And there was a picture of it. And only like 6 people viewed it, right? So then she took it to court because you shouldn't have this. This shouldn't be available.
Oh, fuck.
And then everybody went to see it.
See?
So nobody knew about it before.
Well, that's exactly this, right? I mean, all they're doing is bringing more attention to it, more people's opinions to it, right? Everybody's going to have an opinion on it, whether it's one way or another, right? So be it. But the thing is, it's not going to make it go away.
No,
right? They will get around. This happened, you know, in the music industry in the early 90s with music sampling, right? Like when artists were taking snippets of other songs and remixing it, creating their own version from it, right? Like I think Vanilla Ice did that with, what is it? Queen's Under Pressure,
Under
right?
Pressure, that's right.
I think that was the first one that I absolutely, like the first one I remembered, and then there was MC Hammer, Can't Touch This, right? Everybody was taking all these, you know, samples. Well, and then all of a sudden, I think Biz Marquee or something created like a huge album with a whole bunch of samples and got totally like, you know, like sued for it. Then all of a sudden, this hot topic. It was the everything. Everybody thought, oh, it's the end of it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know many songs now that aren't remixes or aren't samples. You know, they figured out how to get around it.
Exactly.
Whether it's they figured out, you know, illegally, illicitly, or you know, or they're giving rights to it. One way or another, this is gonna go through. AI is here to stay.
Yeah.
And you know, and I mean, artists, I feel for them in the sense of they're worried.
Yeah.
But photographers used to be worried when digital photography came out.
This is true, yes.
Okay?
Exactly.
There was no reason to.
Yeah.
Right? There's that flight.
Dude, get out of here.
You know, photographers were worried, right? You know, internet to print, you know, rightfully so. There was some worry there, but digital didn't replace print 100% anyway, but aspects of it did. Yeah. Right? And I don't necessarily think painters are going to completely disappear like artists, like traditional artists, because there's always going to be people who appreciate an analog, something done real. I love what I see digitally.
Yep.
You know, I wouldn't pay money for it. That's the funny thing.
There you go.
I wouldn't pay money for a piece of art that was created by AI. Now, that's not to say that, I mean, I think that, you know, Christie's just sold one for like, you know, 100 million or 10 million. There was already the first AI generated artwork that was sold. Some people don't have a problem with it. I prefer real artists. Right, I prefer, even if it's just some dude at Fan Expo, right, and his just his one-off and whatever, you know, or even if he copied, you know, a similar one he's already done. There's something warm, real that I connect with it, right? Yeah. And I think this is always going to exist. Yeah. Right. I think people are going to want real art, not necessarily photocopied duplicates.
Yeah, exactly.
If that's your thing, who cares?
CDs were going to be the be-all and end-all, right? But people are listening to vinyl still.
Absolutely, I mean, right? You're absolutely right.
People are reading books.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, so these kind of things never go away. So
yeah, absolutely.
You're right. I think people are.
I mean, they're angry that, you know, like probably their artwork was inspiration for this platform, and that's fine. But again, they're not replicating their artwork. They're replicating a style that that person had.
Exactly.
Sucks. But, you know, again, take it as that whole, you know, copying is what the ultimate form of flattery, because that's it. I don't think it's going to replace those artists. Because, again, I'm not looking for a replacement, right? Yeah. And the people who are looking for a replacement, the people who are looking for the cheaper, easier, faster version than a real artist, man, they wouldn't pay that real artist price anyway. If somebody's looking for a $10 knockoff of a Monet, well, they're not going to go and pay for a print of a Monet, or they're going to pay for a real Monet, right?
A real Monet, you can't afford that.
But, I mean, even like when it comes to like comic art and shit, right? Yeah. Like they're not gonna, if somebody's willing to do that and just go cheap, they just want something on their wall. Yeah. I can't imagine, you know, having people come to my house and I'm like showing them all this AI artwork, you know, based on an artist, and I paid all this money for it. No, I would much rather be like, I met this dude, I shook his hand. Yeah. This is a real painting from legit. This person.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Like your big game hunter in
oh my God. I mean, again, I tried to get every one of our artists to sign. Everybody who, even if I buy a print from one of these guys, I want them to sign.
You want them to sign
because I want to meet them. I don't like even. No, absolutely.
Yeah,
there's something cool about that.
It totally is. I agree with you.
It's that connection.
So, and that will always be.
It will always.
And this is, I think that's your point, right?
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
you can have AI created art and it's not going to hang on in any gallery.
It won't.
Like
Absolutely.
That.
If somebody goes on AI and says, I want a logo in the style of James Martin, well, they're not going to pay James Martin's fees, and James wouldn't even want those fuckers.
Nope.
So go create that low-res ugly shit somewhere else.
And it's not going to be
just
good.
don't put my name on it. That's all, right? You can copy my style, just don't put my damn name on it.
Yes.
So and I guess the whole thing is why I'm saying, like, we might as well embrace this, okay? Is because there's two types of AI, okay? There's something called narrow AI, and there's something called general AI, okay? So narrow AI refers to AI systems that are designed to perform specific tasks and functions, but of a narrow focus, okay? So think about that, okay? That's what's considered narrow AI. General AI refers to these systems that possess the ability to understand, learn, and apply intelligence across a wide range of tasks, right? Closer to human intelligence. Okay. So based on that and what I just told you, okay, when I tell you things like Chat GPT, I've had conversations with it. It tells me all about my feelings. It helps me, discern my dreams, hypothetically speaking. You're probably going to think that that's general. Yeah. Right? You're probably thinking, right? Yeah. It sounds like it. It sounds like it's human. It's people are falling in love with chat. People are making, girlfriends out of it, boyfriends out of it. Like, it's creepy.
Oh, God.
But the funny thing is, Chat GPT is actually narrow AI. Okay, because it's performed to do a basic task. Okay, it's got prompts that have been given to it, and it basically takes your question and kind of puts all the words together before and after and comes up with it's kind of crazy how it works.
Okay.
But it's based on what all the information that's been put into it.
Right. So so somebody has programmed this to say, this is what a human would say.
Yes.
In this situation.
Thinking for itself.
It's not thinking.
So as crazy as the shit that we're seeing on Midjourney, on DALL-E, on Chat, right? All this crazy ass shit, this is all fucking narrow. Okay. And general is like 10, 100 times more. It's crazy. People don't even know if it can actually become, anything, but it is so far in the future that when that does come, the shit that we're seeing now, like it doesn't even matter. Yeah. Okay. Like, that's the shit to be a little bit more scared about, a lot more scared about. So,
and what do you think how long is that coming?
I mean, I heard people say that, at the earliest is 10 years away at the pace that we're going right now, right? At the earliest. Now, again, who knows? Possibly shit could happen faster because of the use of AI, but right now it's so far in the future. But the thing is, if we don't get a hold of this narrow AI, when that shit comes in, then we're all fucked. Because then that learning curve is like going from print to AI.
To AI,
okay?
exactly.
You missed that whole digital part in the middle, and then jump to social, then learning how all that shit works, and then it's just so much of a gap, right? So right now, people need to fucking embrace what we have now, because in theory, as big and scary as it seems right now, the reality is it's only a fraction of what's coming in the future. And if we don't get a hold of this now, think of it as you're just getting on top of like a baby bucking bronco right now, right? And it's kicking and screaming, but you can easily hold on and be like, wow, it's a fucking fun ride. Okay. But if you were to get on that thing when it's, 10 years old and it's been beaten down and in like, rodeos and it's angry, you don't want to be sitting on that for the first time and fucking kill you.
Yeah.
So this weird analogy,
I would think more of a baby T-Rex.
Okay, fine.
You see it on a little leash.
Come here, little guy.
Once he gets older, holy shit, he takes your head off.
So if we don't embrace this now, right? Again, I think that the leap will be too much in the future, and then it will be impossible to embrace. This is my opinion, right? Because I do think our roles as graphic designers are going to change. And I think I talked about it, a year ago. We talked, we covered it on there. But okay, it's evolved a little bit more now that I've been playing with this quite a bit, right? And it's true, right? I do think that the role of the graphic designer, the shift is going to be, to focus more on higher level thinking, higher level creative, and more strategy,
Right.
which I did say before,
Yeah.
that was a big part. As long as you're thinking through, you'll never be replaced.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So first and foremost, right? One thing that now that I'm learning all this is as designers, we're going to have to focus on articulating our thoughts, our visions, our ideas better than we ever have, more than an art director, more than a creative director, right? And I think that's a huge differentiating factor.
Yeah.
That's what makes art directors and creative directors different than graphic designers.
Exactly.
Because they can visualize something and they can explain it to people, right? They can say, this is what I'm looking for. This is what the customer's looking for.
Right.
So I think graphic designers will have to do that. They'll have to embrace that and they'll have to learn. And again, we take, the visual and subconscious for granted, right? Because we can just start laying things out. And after doing this for so many years, you know what looks good.
Yeah.
It's like you've got this
nature.
muscle memory. Yes,
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Just enough white space to add, just enough, font, like kerning to add to these letters, right? And bringing things up. It's instinctual.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now try to explain it. That's a whole different game.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we'll need to learn how to articulate our visions 100 times more than we already do. Okay. We're going to have to learn how to collaborate with AI, not just as assistants, to help us get shit done, like how Photoshop, generative AI, this, that, but also as sources of inspiration, right? And again, this is a hard one for people to understand, and we're going to have to keep growing on this. But, oftentimes I'll jump into Mid-Journey. I'll have this idea that I'm just goofing off about this whole like futuristic post-apocalyptic city at nighttime with neon, right?
Yeah.
Just because I like synthwave, and apparently those two worlds come together. And again, it's like, I'll try it. No, that's not it. I'll try it. No. And I'll keep like ideating with it until it's like, that's the vision I had.
Yes.
Not that I did anything with it. Yeah. Oddly enough, I was just trying to test myself to see if I could create what I had in my mind.
Yes.
Right. So I think that this is going to be a role that we'll all have to embrace. Okay. Is using it, as a source of inspiration, not just as an assistant.
Right.
Okay. Obviously, we're going to adapt. We, as graphic designers, we're always going to have to now adapt to new tools, new processes, no matter where we go or what comes out, right? Yeah. And this goes back to that whole, we're always learning. We're always, embracing this whole lifelong, mindset of always, and that's okay.
Yeah.
We've always professed that.
Yeah.
But absolutely, that's going to be now part of a role.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be moving so fast for the next little while.
It's been moving fast ever since we talked about it a year ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really ramped up.
Absolutely, right?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
There's going to have to be some ethical considerations.
Here we go. Yeah.
Right. And this one's huge, right? Because number one, AI is often biased.
Yeah.
Okay. Like you hear jokes about, ChatGPT being woke. Elon Musk would say that he was calling it a woke system. Now he's creating his own AI that apparently is not going to
woke.
Yeah, fuck, that guy's crazy,
The
right?
racist AI.
But I mean, we're going to have to, think for ourselves. We're going to have to be critical thinkers and be like, oh, you know what? This is okay, but I don't know if I agree with this 100%. We can't just like blindly take it for, face value.
Yeah.
We'll have privacy concerns to constantly be, like taking into consideration, right? Then there's like also things like, like the ethical concerns about removing watermarks. There are AI apps out there right now that will do that. You can now go onto a stock photography site, remove a watermark, and then upscale that low-res image to get a full high-res image. Wow. And you just stole that thing.
And you just swiped it.
Right. So again, those photo companies are going to have a big challenge.
I was just
they're going to be screwed.
Oh,
that's
my
for sure.
God,
right.
Yeah. It's funny because Adobe is free for us now. Adobe stock.
Well,
which I wonder.
The commercial license is so the commercial license for Adobe's like Firefly and all their AI stuff is still not though.
It's not.
Yeah. Okay. So that's still yet to be
what
determined.
About? So have you used the new Photoshop then?
Absolutely, right.
That beta version of
that's okay. Anything you create yourself is fine. You do as you wish.
Yeah.
It's just when they're creating the stuff for you, right? Okay, that's where it's starting to be like, I'm pretty sure you can't use it, and again, there's going to be some legalities. There's going to be like, do you want to get away with it if you change it enough? So again, ethical concerns all over the place.
Yeah.
And then I think the biggest way the role of the graphic designer is going to change is the expectations from the customer. I think, you know, their expectations are going to be through the fucking roof. You know, we always hear about these crazy ass job titles that are like, I expect you to be able to do this, do social, build a website, create a graphic ad, you know, and be a copywriter all at once and do it all in an afternoon.
Yes.
For $15 an hour. I do think that because these tools are going to be empowering us that much more, the expectations from the customer, whether it's a boss or whether it's an actual customer that, you know, for a design agency's business, I think that's going to grow a little bit more. And they're going to expect a little bit more of an end-to-end service from almost everybody, not just going in. And that's just kind of what I'm thinking right now is how our roles are going to change.
So the bar is being raised.
100% it is. Yeah. And we knew this. I always said from the start, like, you know, you can't just go in and expect to just do one job and be, you know, oh, I only got hired for this. That's such an old mentality.
It is. Yes.
It's a real, you know, narrow mentality, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah. And, you know, again, it's not that the future is AI. The future is AI collaboration. That's it. That's what I think it is.
Okay.
I don't think, and I still strongly don't think that AI is going to replace graphic designers. We have to think too much. We have to come up with journeys. You know, we have to empathize. It's not capable of that yet. Not narrow.
Yeah.
Could the general? I don't know. You know, it's pretty scary what they're claiming it could do, but right now it's just so out there, right? It's, you know, your job isn't going to disappear, but it is going to evolve. And I think that's key. So you got to embrace this now while you still can.
Yeah.
I'm convinced,
right?
You're right. Yeah, literally. The sooner you learn and put it into your workflow, the faster you're going to get shit done. The less stressed you'll be, surprisingly enough, because shit's just going to be able to just kind of crank through, and it will make you a better designer. It almost feels like you're cheating in some ways, but it's the new reality. So you can't be cheating if this is going to be the new expectation.
Right.
It's not going anywhere.
And, you know, we came up in an old time where, you know, Photoshop and Illustrator, and it didn't look like what it does today. You know what I mean? And some people would consider, you know, the crop tool cheating. Yeah. You know, like, but I forget the clipping pads. I remember doing that when I was younger, and it was just like, this is
such a pain in the ass.
A better way. And now there is. That's not cheating. I think that's just taking advantage of a new skill saw that you got in your toolbox.
Literally, right?
Yeah. I don't have to use this fucking crosscut saw
Generative
anymore.
AI is amazing, right? Like you can now crop out people, crop out backgrounds, change. I don't like that sky. Instead of clipping the sky, finding a new sky, putting it in, trying to make sure it looks real. Shit, just select it and it'll do it for you. 5, 6, 7. So right now, again, it goes back to our vision, right? And being able to, you know, articulate our vision and getting getting that image the way you want. Getting that piece of artwork the way you want, right? So there are, so my opinion, ways to start, okay? Because some of this might seem really daunting, okay? And I've been online. I keep hearing all these other celebrity designers give us all their examples of what the future designer, what you need to do to this and that. And they give you these really high level, enigmatic type of responses, just like I was growing up with. And it's just like, yeah, thanks. I can't really do anything with that. And, you know, you're telling me what I should do or what should I expect, but not how. So listen,
I just
fucking make your life easy. I'm just going to cut this like, we're just going to make it easy, right? If you want to create assets, okay, you want to start learning how to create some digital assets in Midjourney, in DALL-E, and NVIDIA has a fucking incredible, NVIDIA has an incredible tool called NVIDIA Canvas. It's fucking phenomenal. Even Adobe Firefly, right? Even ChatGPT, okay? If you want to start getting in and learning and feeling the power of these things, okay? The first thing you have to do and you have to work on, and this is going to take a long time, is you're going to learn how to articulate your thoughts and your vision. Honestly, you have to be able to articulate your thoughts clearly. You have to learn how to be a director, creative director. You have to take that step up and you have to stop just taking for granted what we're capable of just doing from experience and start explaining, right? Because everything, unfortunately, starts with a query. Okay, everything starts with a query, right? Everything's prompt based. So you have to build these images based on, you know, prompts that you use, right? Nighttime, neon, smoke-filled area, futuristic vision, dusk, angry guy in the corner. You're literally building all this out.
Right.
And the more you experiment with all these prompts, the better it is. Same with ChatGPT. The more you're giving it, that's more query-based, of course, but you're adding information. If you're just like, write me a letter that I'm supposed to send to a customer. Well, what kind of fucking letter do you want?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But if you're like, no, I'm a graphic designer. I'm focused in the restaurant industry. Please help me write an email letter to introduce my abilities to the restaurant, area in Waterloo that's, very trendy to university students, blah, 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 blah.
Boom.
Well, now it'll give you
now it's
something
got something.
that checks all end. You can just go in and revise it, edit it, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, again, focus. Honestly, your first step is focus on those fucking prompts. Focus on the queries, right? Figure out how to describe styles, the subjects, the compositions, even the ratio sizes, even, believe it or not, the kind of camera that it's shot on, if you can believe that, right? It makes a difference.
This is the kind of stuff that people can really drill down with some serious information on this shit, and it blows my mind.
Dude, it's so true, right?
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, okay, when you're using some of these tools and they give you these amazing things, you almost feel like you're taking advantage of it, right? Same with chat. It's like, it doesn't expect you to, but every time I put in a new chat request, I'm like, hey, chat. And it's like, hey, how are you today? I'm great. How are you? And then it's like, I feel bad when I ask too much of it. And I'm like, sorry for asking. You don't feel bad. Don't add it, build it. Oh, that mosquito.
God damn him.
Oh, man. I know, right? That was really
Jeff
slow,
Goldblum,
right?
Get out of here.
Jeez.
We'll find Gina Davis.
Yeah, right. But literally, don't be scared to ask it to do revisions, because that's how this actually works.
Yeah.
Okay. So be descriptive, right, and avoid anything vague, avoid anything abstract, and avoid nuances or terms that might be something to you, your group of people, your little area of the world, right? Again, you can't get so niche because it won't know anything like that. Okay. No matter if you're using, Midjourney, DALL-E, it's not there yet because it's not connected to the world.
Right.
So it's not keeping up with, your nuances in North Waterloo, Ontario, Canada, right? So that's where you start, okay? Is literally, I'm not even going to go about, getting too philosophical about how to, relearn yourself and who you are and blah, 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 right? Right now, you just have to learn how to articulate your thoughts,
right?
Articulate, what it is, your visions, right? Learn prompts, learn queries, and start there, because right now they're all like that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They're all like that. And then if you want to try the Photoshop beta or the Illustrator beta, which is just filled. Illustrator's got a beta, dude. Do you know you can now create mock-ups in Illustrator? You can drop in a bottle, a blank bottle, like a water bottle, put a logo, and it'll wrap it, it'll twist it, it'll do it all in Illustrator now.
Come on.
Fucking crazy, right? So this is what I mean. And all those crazy ideas like the generative fill, changing backgrounds, removing the subject, removing the background, all available in Photoshop. So if you want to try Photoshop beta or Illustrator beta, right, all you got to do is go into your Creative Cloud account if you have it. And when you go, you'll see your Photoshop and your Illustrator download and updates. Look a little deeper, and it's actually a separate downloadable app. Photoshop beta, Illustrator beta. It's actually white. It's not even the typical gold and dark blue colors, okay? And while you're in there, Adobe Firefly is also, it's incredible.
Is this available to
It's also available for everybody that, everybody's got a creative account.
Yeah.
The nice thing about Firefly, and again, I hate, but I love Adobe, right? I hate Adobe because it's Adobe.
Love to hate Adobe.
It really is. I love to hate
Preach, brother.
Right? But what they did with their AI app, with their generative AI app, is they've taken most of the things that designers need. So you create your image, right? You put in your prompts, you create your image. Now you want to change the ratio. Well, they have a drop down for that. They have a button for that. So they have really amped up the UI of their app more than anything else out there. So that's where this app is incredible. It's crazy. It's fucking bullshit in the sense of you can't use it for commercial rights, and they haven't released what that's going to look like yet. But if you want to see what the future looks like, check that out.
Okay.
It's fucking incredible. And right now, it's also free right now for Creative Cloud holders.
Wow.
So you just got to get in there. it's scary.
Yeah.
Right. It's scary. And who knows what that license is going to look like in the future. But I mean, they're ahead of the ball. They're ahead of the curve on this one. So good on them.
Good on Adobe.
But I mean, again, go download these things. You guys are crazy not to.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Jeez, I
It's
had
just
no
fun.
idea.
It's just fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've been fucking around with the beta.
Yep.
And that's pretty interesting. But I did not know about the Illustrator Firefly. I'm gonna have
The Illustrator is cool. Firefly's mind blowing.
I'm doing that
and
tomorrow.
Again, it's still all new.
Yeah.
It's not going to be perfect. Sometimes it's pretty fucking cool, right? But you see where it's going. Like it's doing something already better than novices could do.
Yeah.
Is it as good as a professional photo? Yeah. In some cases, it hits it right out of the park.
Yeah.
Some cases it really makes a mess. I think.
Yeah, this is true. But
again, it's still early stages, dude. That's why it's a beta.
is this because of us? Because of our prompts to it? Is
Possibly.
this why it's because we're not good? I think this is my problem. I'm just like I put a prompt into to Dolly or something like that, and it just comes out stupid.
Dude,
it doesn't
you know what?
work, and I'm like,
Prompts-
the fuck.
Yeah. Prompts and queries are a whole other world.
Right.
And it will take you time to learn, the lingo, to learn the ratios, to learn the right words, the right phrases. But, you go to Midjourney, right? Midjourney is on Discord. And you can generally see what people use for, prompts and
They
how
tell
to get
their
certain things.
Oh, this shows what their prompts are.
And it's all over the internet, right? I subscribe to a newsletter. I think it's called Superhuman. It's like an AI newsletter. It's fucking incredible. And again, every newsletter has got to create this image in Midjourney, these are the prompts
This
used.
is what you used.
To create this response in chat, this is what we used. And it's just, I've been following this for a little while. And again, it's how far I've come in the past little while is fucking incredible. Anybody can do this. If I can do this, anybody can do this. So trust me, if I can, you all can.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you
Can I kick it?
Woo! All right, that's it.
Yes.
That's about it.
Holy shit.
I didn't think that we would even get past 20 minutes in this episode.
What?
But we filled up the whole fucking hour. I'm
Dude,
sorry, guys.
People wait till another 6 months when we're back with more fucking updates to this. 'cause
Yeah, 'cause
this shit is going to go through the roof.
By the
It's
time
going to
this,
keep going. That's
this
what I'm saying.
launches, it's already going to be
It's
outdated.
already obsolete.
Next thing you know, Elon Musk did launch his new fucking AI app, and it is now running for president of the USA. Fuck, how did we miss that in only 3 weeks?
That is so true. No, this was really good. This is some heavy duty shit.
Some heavy shit.
I like the moral implications of what this kind of does. And I was like, because people use the music industry as the first litmus test of how much shit you can push, right?
You're right.
Because we've already had I think it's like an Eminem and a Weekend copy, right?
Yes, we have.
And people
right? And Drake.
And Drake, that was what it was. Yeah, Drake and the Weeknd. So this is where, that moral conundrum comes in where you're like, can we do this kind of stuff? Because this is Drake and, and the Weeknd. They are artists. They're just
absolutely.
This is who they are. That's their voice.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Right? Exactly. It's pretty scary, right?
Yeah.
So what are people buying? And that's the real test. Are people loyal to the artist?
Yeah.
Are people loyal? Do they just want some? And again,
or do
two
they care?
different users. Yeah. Some people won't care. Some of the people are ripping off that music. They're downloading it for free. They're not going to pay Drake a penny. So they don't care if it's Drake's voice or not because they don't give a fuck.
And the best part is they get a new Taylor Swift song every 20 minutes. Right?
I wish Taylor Swift sang a song about my pen.
Yes!
Taylor Swift, write a song about my pen.
And Wonder Bra.
Wonder Bra. Oh my God, I'm never going to live that one down.
But this is the thing. That's the part that I'm interested to see,
to see how that plays out,
it goes with this lawsuit.
I still think it goes back to the whole idea that people will be loyal to artists.
Yes.
And the ones that aren't don't really matter.
Yeah.
Again, if people want Z Factor, they want what Z Factor produces. They want our process. They want what we're capable of doing. If they don't want to pay our price, they're going to get a knockoff somewhere. And I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't want to work with them. What am I going to say? Oh, please, can I do it for 1/10 my cost?
Come on. What about the people?
So, and most people should start thinking this way. Like if somebody wants something cheaper, easier, they're not worth our time anyway,
that's
right?
exactly
so
it.
elevate yourselves from this. You be the expert.
That's right.
Don't argue and just let those people go. Is my
That's
opinion,
right. The Alan Peters and the James Martins, they're going to still create amazing work for
Absolutely.
artists, for clients and stuff like
Absolutely
that.
they
You know what I
are.
mean? And you can try and copy that kind
Yep.
of stuff, but you'll never get the original.
Exactly.
know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's it, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Wow.
All
the
right.
future.
All right, everybody. I hope you like what you heard today. Please, by all means, drop us an email, hit us up on our website. We try to get back to everybody. Even on Instagram, we get a lot of messages on Instagram. Shit, dude, we're even on Threads right now. I'm trying to see what that's like. I know.
The fuck is Threads?
I know.
Come
I know.
on.
Right? Good
I'm
old
too
Zuck
old for
launched
this. Oh, it's the new.
Yeah, it's
it's
the new
the competition.
Twitter. Yeah. And it's funny. That's a whole nother topic altogether. Maybe by the time this launches, it's going to be closed down. I don't know. But again, you can hit us up there. You can hit us up on Instagram, and of course, we are on YouTube. So if you want to see us waving down that damn fly, hit us up.
It's really fun. It was a
and
pretty.
it's still alive.
Yeah, it's still here. We're gonna murder him off screen.
And please, by all means, subscribe to us on your favorite podcast channel and share us with everybody because there's a lot more information we want to hit up. My name's Massimo.
My name is Sean.
And stay creative by going on AI and figure out a better way on how to end this podcast. And stay angry. The AI copy of Sean. Peace.
That was awesome.